It's an everyday thing, it's an everyday thing, it's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
Who killed Charlie Kirk?
I mean, there's a man in custody. I've really tried not to publicly speculate or say anything that I can't prove.
And you shouldn't. That's smart.
That said, they're going to need to do a real investigation on this. And here's all I'll say. If the FBI and the authorities in Utah end this investigation by declaring Tyler Robinson a lone gunman with no accomplices whatsoever, without having done, a truly exhaustive investigation, sort of like the one they did into January 6th.
Right.
That will not be adequate. That will not be acceptable. And I think that they will risk further fracturing the United States along the lines of people who believe the story or want to believe the story and those who, just don't find it an adequate explanation. So I hate even to say that could happen because, it's my country, my government. I want to trust the FBI. There's no reason to trust the FBI at all. At all. I mean, they've been caught acting in bad faith and conducting what I consider crimes so many times, lying so many times that I think it's, at this point, especially since my friend who was assassinated, I think it's fair to demand a real investigation with a lot of transparency. And if they say, oh, we can't say that because we don't want to prejudice the jury or, it's going to affect the prosecution, that's not a good answer. Tell me what happened. I'm particularly interested in, of course, all the practical details. There's no videotape of this guy getting on the roof. There's no videotape of him bringing the gun on the roof. It's not clear he brought the gun off the roof. It's not in videotape anyway. So I'm interested in, how did he get away, for example? Who was this guy, Zin in the front row?
George Zinn, yeah. Why would anyone
What is
do
that? Is that connected? Tell me a story that makes sense. But what I'm most interested in is how a guy who was, by all appearances, a pretty normal kid, wound up murdering a stranger just a couple years later. He was radicalized. Okay, walk me through that. Tell me exactly how that happened.
Who killed?
Hey, see, sometimes this is why you gotta listen to everybody. You might hate Tucker Carlson, but you gotta listen to everybody. You gotta find out. You gotta listen to what they saying. Everybody ain't stupid. They might say some stupid shit, but sometimes they be like, you be like, well, I kinda agree. I mean, there's no kinda in this agreeing.
If anything happens to me, you guys will know exactly who it is that has been making my life a living hell over the past couple of years. I want you guys to know that I was feeling so inspired by Josh Hammer's utter lack of human decency that I went ahead this week and sent around a life insurance policy of sorts, a package rather, to people that I trust, a package filled with text messages, emails, private communications, videos, and private legal documents. So people that are trying to bankrupt me and my family, that are threatening us to sue us. Everything that Kanye said was so real. Okay, I'm now at that point where you look back and you go, man, Kanye was right. He was really saying something about what it takes to leave, to fight for custody of your own soul. Just leave me alone. Let me say what I believe and you say what you believe. Fight fair. Why do you always have to make this threat to bankrupt people? And I want you to know that those people, if anything happens to me, they have my explicit permission to release it all, detonate it all, expose all of these people in politics and in the movement who behave like this behind the scenes. It's necessary. And I highly recommend every single person that is out there, that has a platform and is going through things and is scared, do the same. Send everything around to about 8 people that you trust. And I mean, I've ranged it. I sent it to journalists, text messages and screenshots to people ranging from Max Blumenthal to Andrew Tate. They won't know where it's coming from. It will be everywhere.
I told y'all Nick Cannon and Kanye West was perfect examples of what is going on. But again, I'm not just saying this is I don't want to be labeled as one of them people that they be labeling to be that type of person, because I'm not. I'm just saying it's people with money that are using something to hide behind because they don't want you to talk about it. But say if it was like anytime a black person brings up slavery, they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. But if you talk about a certain group of people in a certain area that, oh, they don't like that. You, tight lip.
What is going on at Turning Point USA? The spokesman, Andrew Koval, basically just confirmed what Candace Owens posted about Charlie Kirk's text messages in this theory that Israel had something to do with Charlie Kirk's assassination. He's saying that Jewish donors are bullying him, they're playing into these stereotypes, and that he essentially was leaving the pro-Israel, movement. But this also brings up another point. Remember how they were saying, oh, well, Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens weren't even talking. They weren't even friends. But he wanted to invite her instead of some other people. They did not like that. I don't agree with a lot of stuff that Candace Owens says and does, but she's looking to be right on track with her thoughts about Charlie Kirk's assassination and what's happening now. And if you don't think this ties into Erica Kirk, baby, you need to hold on and hold on for life. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this new development with the text messages.
I told y'all, Candace had an awakening a couple of years ago, maybe a year and a half ago or a year ago. Candace had an awakening, and she ain't been on the she ain't been on that tirade. Remember when Candace first came out? She was on a tirade, and black people was like, "Oh, what's going on?" But she was right then, and she's still right now. But then it was just like, because she was MAGA Candace versus she on her own now. It's like, ooh, she was kind of right then, and she kind of right now.
I caught a lot of shit from people over the last month for pointing out that Charlie Kirk was incredibly racist. And I did that by using, as did many other people on this app, I did that by using Charlie Kirk's own words about black people. When you look at his own words, it is indisputable that Charlie Kirk was an incredibly racist man. And now his wife has taken over his organization, Turning Point USA, and they are extremely upset with the NFL that the halftime show is going to be headlined by Puerto Rican musician Bad Bunny, because Bad Bunny doesn't sing any of his songs in English. Bad Bunny is an American citizen because he was born in Puerto Rico, which is a territory of the United States. Everyone born in Puerto Rico is a U.S. citizen. Bad Bunny is more of an American citizen than Melania Trump, who was born in a foreign country, but came into the United States, and I'm not kidding about this, Melania Trump came into the United States on a Einstein visa. An Einstein visa, so that she could pose nude in Maxim when we had magazines 20 years ago. Anyway, Turning Point USA is now going to have their own all-American halftime show, implying that Bad Bunny is not American. By all-American, they mean white. Because Turning Point USA, embodying the characteristics and values of their founder, Charlie Kirk, is also incredibly racist. And we saw that earlier this week with a bunch of Turning Point USA kids questioning Vivek Ramaswamy, who's running for governor of Ohio, stopping just short of saying, "Who the fuck are you to run for governor of Ohio? You're not even white. You're a Hindu and an Indian, and not a Christian." They meant white. So Turning Point USA is going to have their own halftime show, and it's the all-American halftime show. Again, because when they say all-American, they mean all white. Conservatives were up in arms after it was announced that Bad Bunny is going to be headlining the thing. Speaking to right-wing podcaster Benny Johnson, who absolutely, most definitely is not a homosexual, He's not. I swear to God, he is not gay. He posted an AI video of him wrestling buff, shirtless immigrants or something like that. He is most definitely, Benny Johnson is 100% absolutely not a homosexual. He is not. He is a MAGA podcaster, and he is straight, and he is married, and he has kids. He is not a homosexual. So don't go calling him gay. Anyway, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem, speaking to right-wing, completely not gay podcaster Benny Johnson, she said that ICE would be all over that place at the Super Bowl, which is going to be held right down the road for me at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California. Noem maintained that she has every intention to enforce the law, which, I mean, I don't know if these people have ever bought a ticket to the Super Bowl.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think the Super Bowl is gonna be full of Mexicans or Spanish speaking people because Bad Bunny is headlining. We gonna be all at home not we, but I'm not. But everybody gonna be at their house partying. So what the fuck?
Well, I'm just spitballing here by saying that that is something that is financially outside the capabilities of most undocumented immigrants in the United States. And I don't know why they think undocumented immigrants would be drawn to a Bad Bunny performance, because Bad Bunny is an American. He is as much of an American as completely not gay podcaster Benny Johnson and Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, despite the things that Kristi Noem has done to her face. I mean, I'm not super excited about having an extra chin, but if the surgical process of going through that rendered me left looking with a face that looked like Kristi Noem's, I'd take 2 more chins as opposed to looking like that. She looks like a fucking Cabbage Patch doll that got run over by a truck. Anyway, that's regardless, and we don't judge people on their looks here on Hawk's Page. We don't do that because that's unseemly and it's insulting, it's misogynistic, and it's something that would really anger Benny Johnson, a MAGA podcaster who is 100% not secretly gay. He's not. Anyway, so I think that their halftime show is going to consist of Carrie Underwood, Kid Rock, and Ted Nugent. And come on now, I mean, who wouldn't want to watch that? Carrie Underwood, Kid Rock, and Ted Nugent. Do you get more All-American than that? And by All-American, I mean white trash.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't even finna watch the halftime show. I barely watched last year's halftime show. It was actually kind of boring. Even though, Kendrick Lamar, he's a good performer. I kind of watched it afterwards. I didn't watch it during the actual performance. That was a pee break for me. But what I want to say is, I think ever since Jay-Z took over the halftime show, he has shown what we haven't seen over the years. I remember Nelly was on the halftime show. Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake was on the halftime show. I remember, what's his name? Berenstein or something. I don't even know the guy. Burstein, something, I don't know. It was a white guy. He was, there for the. I didn't watch that one either because I didn't know the music. But I mean, it was one song that I knew. If y'all know who I'm talking about, then please put it in the chat. But I think adding Bad Bunny is diversifying. But I think had he chose what we need is a good white performer. Not like, you know what I'm saying? If you want to get a good performer, it's the halftime show. We trying to be crunk. Like I don't get the messages that's put out. Like Beyonce was freaking dope. Michael Jackson was dope. Maroon 5, when they was up there, that was freaking dope. Like, yeah, but when Nelly was up there, it was dope. His name wasn't Bearstein. I don't know. Springsteen. Springsteen was up there. Thank you. Springsteen was. I mean, I didn't know his music, but I think I knew one song. But everybody was anticipating listening to Springsteen. I said Bernstein. Okay. But I don't know. Y'all be, and he really, I don't know if he's being, I think he's saying Benny Johnson is gay, but I think he's like doing what I do. Oh, they not like that, but in all actuality, we think he like that. I don't know who Benny Johnson is, but I'm gonna look him up.
So Charlie Kirk said in his text exchange that he was fed up with Jewish donors and that they live down to all the stereotypes and that he has no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. I actually am genuinely surprised that Charlie had been pushed away from that side. And if you're on that side, you should really, really stop and think about that. And I'll tell you, the first major mistake you've made is that you push out your allies or your potential allies if they don't toe the line 100%. And that's what Charlie experienced. He was very pro-Israel, but he also was friends with Tucker and wanted to have a conversation with Tucker, which also makes sense. But what Charlie experienced is that because of that, well, we're going to withdraw our money. And yet you have the right to do that. You have the right to take your money and do what you want with it. But this is the problem. You will not allow any conversation to happen at all. So Charlie Kirk said in his text exchange that he was fed up with Jewish donors and that they live down to all the stereotypes and that he has no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. I actually am genuinely surprised that Charlie had been pushed away from that side. And if
Somebody said Bad Bunny dresses like a girl, I'm gonna assume he's gay. Okay, listen, Bad Bunny came out with some Jordan 1s a few years ago, and I really like Jordans, but I was just like, I don't know if I really want those. You know, it's not that I'm, be who you want to be. I just wouldn't wear them personally because I wouldn't want anybody to assume, you know. And it's nothing against the shoe. The shoes, they sold out everywhere, so somebody bought them. It was just that I was just like, you know. So if he is or if he isn't, it doesn't matter. That's his prerogative. But at the end of the day, whatever message you want to put out there or whatever, be yourself, be free. You know, and it's not for everybody. And I don't think he pushes on anybody. As far as I know, Bad Bunny got good music. But if he is who he is, he is who he is. It doesn't matter to me. But I kind of figured he was because of the shoes he came out with. And I was just like, well, I know those are for the community. And I've never listened to Bad Bunny. I don't speak Spanish. I don't listen to Spanish music. And I mean, unless it's Caliber 50. I heard they real live gangsters. But y'all, if you know, you know.
you're on that side, you should really, really stop and think about that. And I'll tell you, the first major mistake you've made is that you push out your allies or your potential allies if they don't toe the line 100%. And that's what Charlie experienced. He was very pro-Israel, but he also was friends with Tucker and wanted to have a conversation with Tucker, which also makes sense. But what Charlie experienced is that because of that, well, we're going to withdraw our money. And yet you have the right to do that. You have the right to take your money and do what you want with it. But this is the problem. You will not allow any conversation to happen at all.